I'm Holly Madison, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hi, this is William Shatner, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us on a Friday, so I hope everybody's in a good mood, right? It's Friday. We all got the weekend. Always fun when we get these guys in studio. They've been here before. They've been performing on the Strip for like a decade, and they've been together for a very, very long time. They have traveled all over the world and toured. They were just on the Today Show this week. These guys are everywhere, and I was just saying off the air, I'm really jealous because they all have very nice full heads of hair. And I don't. The guys from Human Nature joining us in studio right now. Gentlemen.
G'day.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
It is true. They all have great heads of hair. They really do. So we got.
It's an interesting dynamic.
They come off at night. We've got nightstands for them. Yeah.
So Andrew, Mike, Toby, and Phil joining us in studio. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Pleasure having us.
Yes, and so tell me, how's the show been going?
It's great. You know, we've actually come back. We had a little break over the summer, but we've come back and with a revamped show.
Yeah.
We've changed the name and all the imagery and everything, and it's called Australia's Human Nature. Sings Motown and more. So we've actually gone back and added some more Motown back into our show.
Oh, that's so
which
cool.
was, obviously the music that originally brought us to Vegas 10 years ago. But it's fun. It's the crowd loves the Motown songs, and we love performing it. So.
And you guys are very good at it. And you guys are going to perform something for us here in a little bit in the next segment. But later this year, you guys celebrate 30 years together.
That's right.
Do you guys ever get sick of each other? I mean, that's a long time, right?
Yeah, we do get sick of each other from time to time, but we know how to deal with that. That's the good thing. We give ourselves a bit of a break now and again,
right?
Because it is fairly intense to see someone, to see as much as we see each other. So, but no, we know in that 30 years we have learned how to balance it out. So we're still going strong with that.
And in that 30 years, was there ever a discussion or a situation where you guys thought you might break up as a group?
No, not really. I mean, we've had albums that have not done as well as others, so we've kind of thought, is this the natural end? But no, an actual sort of parting of ways has never really been discussed. Maybe back in the early days, Phil was going to leave the group because we laughed at a photo of him. But that was kids, But really, that's about.
That sounds like reason enough to me.
Damn straight.
The great thing about that moment was that Phil stormed out, like he was just so angry. He stormed out of Andrew and Mike's house, actually, we were rehearsing. And then he came back in, he was like, "Where's my keys?" He'd stormed out of the house without his car keys. So he had to come back and get them.
In the heat of the moment, you
Too bad we don't have video.
Get your keys. What can I say?
I promise I'm still mad, but where are my keys?
Yeah.
So you guys were on the Today Show on Monday. Do you guys ever get nervous before you do an interview? Because I'm sure you're very nervous doing this interview on the Vegas Take. But besides this interview, when you're doing a national TV show like the Today Show, millions and millions of people are watching. You ever get nervous?
Yeah, well, I think we all had a bit about some butterflies before that performance. I mean, it's a big opportunity to get, because we have been here in the States for 10 years now, and we performed on national TV, maybe twice?
A few
two
times,
or three.
yeah.
So it's very rare to get that chance.
What are the other times you've been on national television?
We've actually been on the Today Show a couple of times, and the Chew, we did that. That show's gone.
But you guys
we were on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that show?
Oh, it's great. My wife's a huge fan, so I vicariously kind of am a fan through her as well. But it looks amazing. Looks like ballroom dancing on steroids, that kind of it's production values. And for artists and for music, I think it's great.
Or ballroom dancing on
And the girls are hot too.
I was just going to say ballroom dancing on Viagra pills because Lamar Odom is going to be in the show, but that's another story for another show.
That's just terrible.
That was horrible, I know. So the next question I'm going to ask you guys is, how is the show? Obviously, the show has evolved over the years, right? You play different songs, different music, and tell me, from where you started. And I know you do a bunch of, during around the holidays, you do a lot of holiday songs and that sort of thing. How has the show sort of evolved and changed over the years that you guys have been together here in Las Vegas over the course of the last decade?
Well, look, I guess we, even before we came to Vegas, we'd been together as a group for 20 years at that point. So we'd had a lot of experience with live shows, and I think it's where we feel we do our best work. We love recording, but when you're in front of an audience and you're singing songs to them and you want to get a reaction, hopefully a good reaction, you develop a sense of what works and what doesn't. And so I guess over the years we've an American audience is actually, and the audience here in Vegas is a bit different from back home. Back home, people have known us for years, and there's an energy from the start of the show that because they know our story. But here, you sort of got to tell a bit of that history. And, I guess we constantly love changing the show up with new songs. And so, because we get a lot of people coming back again and again.
Sure.
And so we want to make it, fresh for them each time. So.
Absolutely.
Are you all from the same city in Australia?
Yes, we are. We're all born in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
Actually, Toby wasn't born in Sydney. Toby was born in Papua New Guinea. But no, we all grew up as kids in Sydney, out in the western suburbs of Sydney. So we're like, they call them the Bogans in Australia, out in the western suburbs. I suppose it's a bit like a redneck here in America.
If you're just joining us, by the way, it's the guys from Human Nature celebrating coming up to 30 years that they've been together, 10 years on the Strip. Really incredible. Okay, so like I've said, you guys have been together for a long time. You've met some incredible people. You guys, I don't think a lot of people realize this, you guys actually toured with Michael Jackson. What was that experience like to be able to tour with somebody like that? I mean, I would imagine you're playing in front of enormous crowds, right? Speaking of being a little bit nervous, I mean, what was that like the first time you did a show opening up for Michael Jackson?
It was pretty intense, actually. The first show we did with Michael was in Australia because we were the support act on his Australian tour. And even there was like crowds of 40, 50,000 people coming to see this living legend of a musician. And so we took the stage before them and before him, and it was just amazing. I mean, when you've got that many people, you kind of can't comprehend each individual person. So it's just like a sea of people. And then once in Germany, when we were doing it, there was a crowd of 110,000 people watching us. So it was just really...
I'd have to wear a diaper if I'm telling you.
That was our outfit. We were all wearing diapers. But it was kind of, I hate to say it, we kind of got used to it after a while. And, looking back, it'd be nice to have maybe taken it a little more, because that opportunity just... is so rare, to have that exposure.
Hey, listen, Michael Jackson, obviously, absolute legend, one of the best to ever perform live on stage. But let's call it for what it is. Little strange.
Yep.
Little strange guy, right?
You think?
So, yeah, just a little weird.
That's probably a fair assessment.
Did you guys have any interaction with him at all? And if you did, how did that go?
Not really, no. I mean, we saw him sort of just walk to the stage, walk off every night. We didn't. I mean, we met him once before, about 5 minutes before our show.
So what does he say to you? Hi, I'm Michael. Like, what does he say?
He actually said that he loved the songs that we did, because we actually we had a couple of old sort of soul songs in our set that we did there, and he loved. Yeah, he said he loved the songs that we did. We've chosen to do in our set, but yeah, it was very brief, and he was cool when we met him. But yeah, it was just there wasn't much.
How many shows did you do with him?
Interact with people very much.
And how many shows, by the way, did you do with him?
It was like between 40 and 50
shows. So after your performance, were you able to hang out on stage and watch him perform? Did they let you do that?
Absolutely. We had the AAA passes, so we could go anywhere, and we could go down into the press pit at the front.
Wow.
There was a couple of nights where we actually stood at the side monitor desk, and so there's Michael Jackson not 8 feet or 10 feet from us, dancing right there on the stage, and we're just standing there watching him. So it was pretty incredible, and such a great thing to see up close, because we learned so much.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, when you see somebody like that, and obviously you guys are the ultimate professionals, you guys have been doing this for such a long time, and you guys have been so successful, but when you see somebody, an icon like Michael Jackson, what do you learn from a guy like that when you see him up close and personal perform?
Yeah, well, it was actually the tour in Australia was really early in our sort of recording career. We'd been together for a while, but so to see him and how he engaged an audience and how he had absolute control over that audience was incredible. And then we did the tour over in Europe, which was about 3.5 months. And it wasn't until after that tour that we actually did our very first headlining national tour in Australia. So to have that experience, seeing somebody like Michael Jackson in those massive arenas and what it took to put on an incredible pop show was awesome to watch. I mean, we then, on our national tour, we couldn't quite afford the spaceship that exploded through the stage at the start of the show, but we just did it on a much more humble level. But it was invaluable to see him perform.
I would imagine you guys performing on the Strip for as long as you have, or anywhere for that matter, but especially Las Vegas, this being the entertainment capital of the world. A lot of famous people live here, like myself and JD, right? We're at that, of course. But I would imagine you guys have seen a lot of famous people in your audiences from time to time, I would imagine. Can you name me a few people that maybe have seen your show that you're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. This guy or this person's front row. Like,
We had Mike Tyson. He came to our show once. He actually was singing along in one of our songs, which was...
I would have loved to have gotten that audio. Which song was he singing?
It was actually Ooh Baby Baby, the Smokey Robinson song. And it's quite a gentle moment in the show. And
With Wobbin, ooh baby, baby.
You just can't tell him to stop, though. You can't do it.
No, you can't. Did he meet you guys backstage
Yeah,
afterwards?
he did actually. He loved the show, came up, and he came to the opening of when we moved to the Venetian, he came to that. There's a funny photo of actually us on the red carpet. He's got his arm around me and he's pretend chewing my ear in the photo. So he was a good sport.
Wow,
that
is
does
funny.
sound quite a bit like Mike Tyson.
That is pretty cool. I mean, when you guys meet somebody like that, is it weird for you? Do you get a little nervous, or you just feel like, no, it's just par for the course? When a celebrity comes, like a Michael Jackson, like a Mike Tyson, come up to you and they say, wow, I'm a really big fan of your work. I love what you do. How does that make you guys feel, you know?
It's kind of surreal still. I mean, we did a thing for Qantas 2 years ago and John Travolta was there. And, it's this weird thing because it's literally like looking at Madame Tussauds because they're so,
right.
Like he is so recognizable, John Travolta, and he was on the red carpet. And then we actually sang You're the One That I Want. It was a tribute to the songwriter of some of those songs for Olivia Newton-John. And he came up after and goes, I love you guys singing the song. And it was like, here's John Travolta, the original guy that's saying.
John Travolta,
and
right.
just that iconic face of his. And like any of those really famous people, for me, it's like, is this real? Because they kind of look plastic.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what is your favorite Travolta song or movie, JD? I like Pulp Fiction. I actually like Pulp Fiction.
I love Pulp Fiction. I'm a big fan of Swordfish.
Oh, yeah.
He just likes the 3 seconds when Holly Berry takes her shirt off.
That's definitely
I know why.
That's
Face
part
Off
of the
is a good one.
conversation, but I'm just a big fan of the
Face
movie.
Off?
I have seen that.
Face Off's really good.
Has
yeah.
Frankie Valli reached out to any of you guys?
No, but we did see Frankie Valli quite a few years ago now, maybe 11 or 12 years ago at the Borgata over in Atlantic City.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we've never really worked with him or anything like that. We just
So
did,
what-
we saw him, went backstage and met him and said hi. But that was about as far as it went.
What happens if one of you guys wake up and you're sick?
We
I mean,
call you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
If you guys wanna-
our hair comes off, so it can just like slap straight on.
If you want to lose all of the people who bought tickets and want refunds, go ahead and sign me up. No, but come on. I mean, you guys got to take care of your voices. You got to take care of your health. What happens if because all these shows on the Strip, for the most part, they have backups, right? Whether it's whatever it is. It could be a topless show. It could be a Cirque du Soleil show. They all have backup people, right? Do you guys have backups? What happens if that...
We
one of
know.
you guys-
We've actually, if someone can't literally speak at all, then we have to cancel a show. But we can.
Has
I
that
guess
happened?
there's four. Yeah, we've had to cancel a few shows. Not too many over the time that we've.
So they're
done
like the
shows.
Cal Ripken Jr. of performing and singing, basically. You guys really don't miss many shows, do you?
No.
No, but we do have four of us on stage, so we can kind of share. Maybe try and take someone else take the leads, or share it around a bit. So yeah, but we've literally only taken probably what.
Or maybe a dozen shows.
That's it.
Like
In 10
2,000
years, yeah.
shows, yeah.
And what are your days off? When are you guys dark?
We have shows Tuesday through Saturday, so Sunday, Monday. Dark.
So you got sort of a normal weekend. That's kind of like a Vegas weekend. So what are the guys from Human Nature do in Las Vegas on a night off? Do what do you guys go? What are your hot spots? What do you enjoy doing? Do you fly back? Do you go to like Australia? And
Yeah.
Sunday,
2
Monday,
days?
just for 2 days.
just to see the airport. One day there.
You land, you kiss the tarmac, you get back on the plane.
We're all dads, so we've got families that we spend our time with, and we actually just came off a vacation, which is really nice. We all went to different places. Mike and I went with our families to Laguna. Phil went to Cabo, and Toby went camping. Where'd you go?
I went to Oak Creek Canyon near Sedona,
Oh,
and then
very cool.
down to Parker on the river. It was great.
So not to put a disgusting view in your head, but sometimes when I'm in the shower, I am going over some of the segments I'm doing in the morning.
Yeah, thanks,
And
okay.
yeah, sorry.
The warning didn't help.
I apologize for that visual, but the reason why I asked that question is sometimes I'm pretending how I'm going to start off a segment or whatever, and I'm asking you guys this question. You guys sing for a living. Do you ever sing in the shower? Do you do that?
Absolutely, yeah. We actually do warm up. It's one of the best places to kind of warm up your voice because the steam and everything that you get.
One of the
in there
best places to do a lot of things. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
is-
apologize.
But yes, we do. I think we all. Yeah.
One of my most embarrassing moments was singing in the shower, and it was when I actually used to live with Andrew and Mike at their house, and I was having a shower, and then later on they told me that they'd recorded me, and I was singing one of the songs from Little Mermaid in falsetto, like in
Really?
like my high voice.
Where's the
Was it-
video of this?
Was it Kiss the Girls?
No, it was
Part of your world.
Yeah.
So this is a question I'm sure you get a lot, but people that, as growing up when you were teenagers in high school, people that you looked up to it and you said, this is why I want to get into this business. This is why I want to be an entertainer. For all of you guys, who is that one special person for you that you've looked up to your whole life?
I would say mine would be Freddie Mercury.
Wow, that's a good one. Did you like
Yeah.
the movie, by the way?
I did. It was a little bit sanitized, just a little bit clean and neat, but
What an
but no,
incredible
still
performer.
very entertaining.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, he's a legend. I remember the first time I saw him perform live was at in Live Aid when I was about 11 years
You
old.
were there.
No, I wasn't there. I was watching on the TV very late at night.
Your
in
favorite
Sydney.
Queen song?
Oh, I've got so many. Probably Somebody to Love.
Can you give me 10 seconds of Somebody to Love?
Find me somebody to love. There you go.
I like it. Thank you. All right.
Well, mine was probably, it's an Australian, he's a legend of Australia. They call him The Voice, a guy called John Farnham, who I was a big fan of his when I was growing up. And I was probably kind of watching him and seeing him perform and sing that made me want to be a singer when I got older. So I'm not sure, some Americans know who he is, but yeah, he had a hit back in the late 80s here, I think. So, but we've actually got the chance to do a duet with him, which is one of the biggest hits of our career, which was super cool. A song called Every Time You Cry.
That's pretty cool. Somebody that you look up to that you're able to perform with. That's got to be a pretty cool experience for you. What would you say?
One of my biggest icons would have been George Michael.
I thought you were going to say Justin Bieber.
No,
okay.
I'm a bit of a Bieber fan, but no, I'm George Michael, and because he had that crossover blue-eyed soul thing, and I remember his first album was like one of the first white singers to top the R&B chart. So in the 80s, that was kind of a unique thing. And
isn't it amazing when he would go on stage by himself, wear his sunglasses, and dance and sing, and it just blew everybody away.
Yeah,
right?
George Michael.
I mean,
He was and a great songwriter and just is such a recognizable voice. So
Father Figure's one of my favorites.
Yeah, great song.
Yes, absolutely. Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
No, I met his boyfriend. I was literally sat next to him on a plane, and he was. I was talking about being in the music industry. He goes, "Yeah, my partner's in the music
Whatever
industry."
happened to him? He had a heart attack. Is that what I heard with George Michael?
Yeah, I think there was
something like that?
Don't think he looked after himself.
Sucks. Yeah, but what an unbelievable. And you know what? We had the George Michael impersonator from Legends that came in studio. What was that, a few months ago, JD? He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was very, very
fantastic.
good.
But yeah, George Michael, one of the best.
A great
ever.
singer.
Yep.
Was he an impersonator though?
He was an impersonator.
As far
knows?
as I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but as far as I know, he was.
We're waiting
Right,
for a
okay.
Tupac to come in studio,
Right, okay.
yeah, because certainly he's still living here in Las Vegas somewhere. But
With Elvis, apparently.
yeah, there's plenty of Elvis impersonators. One of them's got to be the real Elvis, right?
I think Jenny Lee, Tupac, and Elvis are in the tunnels homeless right now.
I hope not. I hope not. What would you?
For me, I'd probably say Prince. I just think I grew up loving his music and not really realizing until later on his musicality and just how proficient he was on so many instruments and also his voice was incredible, his range was amazing and also his dancing. He was he sort of had it all. Those massive superstars of the 80s and 90s we've got massive stars now, but you think about the Prince, Michael Jackson, Madonna sort of era, and it was just amazing how huge they were and how just his styles of music were so different as well. Like
First album I ever bought was a Prince album, and I don't think a lot of people realize this. You guys probably know this, but Prince actually bought out a club in the Rio called Crown Nightclub for a little while, and he was performing there for like 4 or 5 months. And
a girlfriend of mine actually worked on that show.
Really?
And for one of my birthdays, she knew I was a fan, and so she worked really closely with him, and she actually gave me one of his guitar picks.
You're kidding me.
And one of the tambourines that the Twins
What a
used.
souvenir.
Yeah,
so my friend actually worked at that nightclub after Prince had left. And I went into his office, and his office was actually the Prince office. This is where Prince hung out in. So I saw all these stickers and the artist and all these weird things in there. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's sad. Very sad what happened to him.
Absolutely.
Very sad what happened to Michael Jackson. It's interesting because Michael Jackson and Prince, they had a little feud going for a little while.
Yeah, well,
but two different performers, but obviously two icons, right, in the business.
Well, that was one of the Prince's lyrics was, you got to be Prince before you're king anyway.
That's true. That's true. Did you ever get a chance to meet Prince? Or?
No.
Yeah. Well,
We
we
went
have
and saw his shows, which were amazing.
we have one person here that got to meet their idol, so that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
So we're here with the guys from Human Nature, Andrew, Mike, Toby, and Phil. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back here at the bottom of the hour, they are going to sing a tune for us. Gentlemen, what's the tune going to be?
Well, you have to come back and find out.
Ooh,
We'll
I
keep
like-
you- It'll be a
I like-
Motown tune.
What a tease.
I like it. Maybe it could be a Britney Spears song. It could be a
Or
Prince
Bieber.
song.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bieber at this point.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out. So here's what I'm going to do. Why don't we do this right now? I want to give a pair of tickets away to Human Nature. And if you call in right now, we will take caller number 10 at 257-5396. Again, caller number 10 right now, 702-257-5396. You will win 2 complimentary tickets to see Human Nature Jukebox. Good any day.
No, it's actually Human Nature sings Motown and more.
I apologize. I was reading it on the coupon there.
changed it.
Give us a call right now, 257-5396. Caller 10, you'll win those tickets. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN. All right, welcome back. It is The Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro on a Friday. By the way, congratulations to Elle, who won a pair of tickets to see the guys from Human Nature perform. And you know what? It's amazing, JD, when we give anything away, the phone lines just decide to light up. People like free stuff. But
Who knew?
I do too. But if you
I
aren't
think it has
lucky
more
enough,
to do with human nature than the fact that it's free.
well, that's for sure. So if you're not lucky enough to win tickets on the Vegas Take, what are like some of the price ranges for some of the tickets to your show?
Very reasonable to very reasonable.
Good. I'm glad to
Yeah.
hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
We have different tiers. I think the first tier starts at $49.
That's not bad.
And works its way up from there.
If you see a Cirque du Soleil show, it could cost you, an arm and a leg. So
We
I
also
mean,
have a constant deal for locals.
Oh, good.
Locals can get 50% off. So.
and that's so important because I think there's too many shows on the Strip that maybe don't last, and I think the reason why is they're not local friendly. Your show certainly is, as you just said. You're giving tickets at a reasonable price, especially if you're a local. I think that is so important. Okay, so without further ado,
Yes.
okay. You guys have not told me what song you're going to sing, and that's okay. That's quite all right. Me and JD have been guessing what song it's going to be. I don't think we're going to be right on this one. But, all right, so I'm going to turn my microphone off, and I'm just going to let you guys go with it here. This is pretty cool stuff here. So this is the guys from Human Nature, Andrew, Mike, Toby, and Phil, performing live on the Vegas Take. Here it is, gentlemen. Take it away.
All right.
2, 3. Dum, 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 dum.
Baby, I need your loving. Baby, I need your loving. Although you're never near, your voice I often hear. 'Cause I'm so lonely. Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your loving. Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your loving. Baby, I need your loving.
Woo! All right. Wow, that was
Thank you very
that
much.
Was that was
outstanding.
amazing. That was see I knew
Four
that
Tops classic.
my pick was Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. So I was wrong on that
Well,
one.
I was thinking Motown Bieber, not Motown Fever.
That was incredible, guys. Really, that is just unbelievable. Imagine if you could sing like that, JD. The women you'd be able to pick up. Imagine that. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
all about the ladies.
We've got them swarming all over it.
Well, all of you are taken, correct?
Yeah, that's
If
right.
there are ladies out there listening, they're going to be extremely disappointed to hear that.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, but you could still get a picture
And,
with
that-
them after
and
the
that's
show.
actually a fact.
Yeah, we actually go out and sign CDs and DVDs and T-shirts and stuff
That's
outside.
right.
afterwards,
So you meet
people
all
get
your
a-
fans
yeah,
after
people
the
get
show.
a chance to say
That's
g'day.
so cool. What's the strangest thing that a fan said to you after a show?
Oh, there's a lot. A lot of people try and tell us what songs we should have put in the show, which is
so
really nice.
annoying.
Oh, cool, thank you. Yeah, we did 90 minutes of nonstop hits. You didn't do that one, So it's
Hey, we get idiots calling into this station all the time and say, "Hey, you shouldn't be talking about that. You should be talking about this subject." And I just respond by saying, "Well, sir, the show's all about you, so we'll definitely take that
So a
into
lot
it."
of people like to tell you who you look like. Actually, Phil's probably had the
I
most.
get it everywhere. I must have one of those faces that looks like everybody.
You do kind of look like Val Kilmer.
I've never. That's a new one. That's a new one. Val Kilmer now or Val Kilmer back? Batman. This
Val
is important. It's really important to know which one.
Val Kilmer shortly after Heat came out.
Because if you look like the Elvis right before he died, that's not a good thing, right?
Good. No, but I get all sorts. I get Dan Aykroyd. I get Tommy Lee Jones. They're the two most, they're the most common.
I see Dan Aykroyd. I don't know if I see Tommy Lee Jones. Maybe Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee in Under Siege and The Fugitive. I could totally see that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
So,
good.
and anything else, like any weird things that have happened after a show besides people demanding that you play this specific song?
A lot of people actually say, "Did I see you in Jersey Boys?" Like the four of us.
Isn't that
No,
like-
we've
is-
been our own group for 30 years?
Is that the worst thing that somebody can say to you?
No, I mean, I guess we're up there in matching jackets, and it's probably a short leap. But yeah.
Well, gentlemen, before we let you go, and by the way, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We know you guys are very, very busy. So before we let you go, can you give out a little bit more information? Number one, the times that you perform, the days you perform, where exactly on the Strip, so that people can get all that information and how people can purchase tickets.
Okay, you can get tickets through Venetian.com or HumanNatureLive.com, and we are on at the Sands Showroom in the Venetian, Tuesday through Saturday at 7 p.m.
Has Sheldon Adelson ever been to your show?
He has a couple of times.
Yeah. What I would imagine he likes what you guys are doing, right? You guys have been there for a long
He's
time.
got this little motor kind of scooter that he jets around in, and he as we were leaving, he didn't realize we came out and signed afterwards, and he kind of turned back around to come back and to say how much he enjoyed the show. And there's a lot of security around when Sheldon's coming in, but that night, we're kind of thinking, are we going to be open again tomorrow night, or is Sheldon going to say, I didn't like it, they're gone? But no, he loved the show, and it was really kind of cool to have him in. His wife's been in a lot as well.
Did he get comped tickets?
No. Yes.
Did you charge him $1 million?
knows a
We
ticket?
upgraded him.
He knows a guy.
Have you been to his very small house?
No, we've never been.
Been up to his office though.
He
Which
lives in
was
a
about
very
the size of my house.
Yeah, he's got some money, Sheldon, but I'm glad that he supports what you guys are doing. Certainly Vegas does. We're so happy that you guys have been so successful for so long on the Las Vegas. I was going to say that. I mean, performing, let's call it what it is. Las Vegas is, for the most part, the entertainment capital of the world, for the most part. Maybe I'm a little biased because I've lived here for 20 years, but this is a big deal. To be a headliner on the Las Vegas Strip, to be here as long as you guys have been here and have the success that you had, do you guys ever take a step or two back and say, wow, this is unbelievable what we've been able to accomplish, not just in Las Vegas, but in your careers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do. Like, we kind of need to stop and take stock of kind of where we are often, because you kind of get caught up in the day-to-day runnings. It's like we're running a business, I guess, running a show 5 nights a week. And so just you sit back and think, okay, we're still here. We've been here for 10 years. It's
incredible.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah,
so.
well, as I said, congratulations on all your success. We always love it when you come in studio. Hopefully you guys could come in again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, and got to check out the show again soon as well. It's a fantastic show, guys.
We know
check
a
it
guy
out.
that can get you tickets. So.
Cool. I'll give Sheldon Adelson a call. These are the guys from Human Nature, Andrew, Mike, Toby, Phil. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN.
This is The Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Come on, guys!